talk a little bit about kind of her journey, what she went through Jewel, through the recruiting process, some of the neat experiences that she was able to take part of as a player and alumni, and then what her university career has kind of been like. We'll learn a little bit from her. MacKeely, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Okay, so we're gonna start taking back like basically right to the beginning. Probably similar to some of the players in this room. How did first pick up a basketball? What was that? When, how'd you get into the game?
Well, I'm from a small town, and at my elementary school, the only sport that we had was girls basketball. There wasn't even a boys team. If the boys wanted to play, they had to come be our practice players. So I was very thankful for that teacher that really took that on. And so I started playing on the team when I was in grade 2. I had an older sister. I wanted to be just like her in every way. Now I'm taller than her, so I got the more than the height, I guess. But so I started playing grade 2, but I didn't play outside of school until grade 7. I got invited by a friend to come to a tryout, and so I went to the tryout. Eddie Lopez, as you guys know Eddie, he was the coach that year. And AJ, who was the coach here from Spain, he was also my coach that year. I wore really bright neon shorts to the tryout, and I, to this day, still believe that's the only reason I made the team, because I stood out more than anyone else in the gym because of my shorts. And never looked back. Eddie was my coach the rest of the time through high school, followed him. It was different kind of teams at the time. Soldiers wasn't actually a thing for girls yet when I started playing. So I was actually the first Soldiers girls team, and then stuck with it all the way through till I graduated.
What do you remember most about the Jewel experience, grade 9 through to the end of it?
I feel like Jewel is kind of the time where basketball really became real. You know, you show up to the games and there's coaches watching from university teams, from other teams, like scouting becomes a big thing. And so it's just that next level up of competition, and it's kind of that time where you really get to realize, wow, basketball is so cool. It's the time that you really get to fall in love with it. And there's so much competition too throughout Jewel. So I never got to go to the championship in Jewel. In my Jewel prep year, when I was grade 10, we got the bronze, so that was a really exciting game. I scored the basket to put us up going into the final minutes. Eddie ran a sideline out of bounds play, and I came off a screen, and I don't know why, my defender got lost, and I got a wide open bunny under the net, and there's nothing more pressure than having to score a wide open layup at the end of the shot clock, or end of the game clock. So if any of you have been in that moment before, that layup is worth a lot. So, but I made it, thankfully, and we won the bronze that year. But yeah, it's for sure just an opportunity. There's university coaches kind of at every game, even from grade 10 on. They're watching your games. It's kind of an opportunity to get to the next level if that's something that you want to go to.
As you progress through grade 9, 10, 11, 12, people come to watch, I gotta perform, but I still want to love the game. How did you balance that? What was kind of your mentality through that?
I think some of the best advice I was given back then and still use to this day is it's not always the moments when you're on the court, it's not always the moments when the ball is in your hands. It's actually everything else, and that's what the coaches are watching, and that's the moments where you really fall in love with the game. So it's when you're on the bench, are you engaged, are you cheering, are you standing up when your teammates score, are you giving high fives when you get subbed off? All those little things that you think doesn't matter because it doesn't make a highlight reel, those things do matter. And that's the things that coaches are watching for. So I think that's some of the advice that I got kind of in Jewel, is just to keep being myself, keep being that positive energy, giving people high fives, cheering on my teammates every chance I got. Even if you're missing shots, even if things aren't going your way on the basketball court, there's still so much else that you can contribute. And then at the same time, those are the moments that you start to build these strong friendships with your teammates. And that's the reason that you stick in the game so long and for the love of it, is because you have these strong relationships. It's such a positive environment and atmosphere. So it kind of goes back in both ways, and contributing into your love for the game by not getting too hard on yourself, I guess, and just always trying to be positive. How can you reflect or be more outward focused? So how can you focus on somebody else's, what they're doing, how you can lift them up versus always trying to get down on yourself. You might find that some of the coaches might not talk to you in Jewel prep. That was a thing when I was growing up, so they couldn't come talk to you when you were younger, but then as you got older, you could start to have more conversations with coaches, all that sort of thing. And that's more from like the state side, so it's the same thing at AAU tournaments, all that sort of thing. And then, yeah, it's more just like conversations after games. Coaches would kind of come up to you, say, you know, that they're interested in you, that they're like the way you played, whatever. And you just kind of have a bunch of these small talk conversations. And then it starts to go from there into visits and whatever else you kind of want to do. For me, school was always really important. And so I did kind of want to stay in Canada. Mind you, if I had, you know, gotten recruited by Harvard or something like that, I probably would have gone, but yeah, so that's kind of what my priority was, and that I wanted to stay somewhere close to home. And then it just becomes, yeah, like reaching out to coaches. I would advise you to never turn down a conversation and never turn down an opportunity to visit. Even if you think it's not a school that you necessarily would want to go to, you could be surprised. And it's also just a great experience to see what the culture is like somewhere else. And you can get to really pinpoint the things that you like and the things that you don't like, and the things that you're looking for in a team. And it's better to have a wide variety if you have the opportunity to kind of see what things are like so you can make a decision that's best for you. I would say the biggest change going from high school to university, for the majority of you, you will probably be moving out of home. So your parents aren't there all the time. There's no one really helping to keep you on a schedule. Basketball definitely helps to kind of create that natural timeline, but there still might be things that you want to get done, whether that be extra workouts, homework, all that sort of stuff, and it's kind of on you to plan that. So the best advice I could give is finding somebody who can keep you accountable, whether that's another player or another coach. Nat Vina, we played together at Guelph, and she was kind of like my workout accountability person. We would always go to workouts together. And Fenora was there in my last year, and it would just be like a simple, Fenora, can you work me out this day? And just setting that timeline for yourself, because it's really easy when you're tired and you got homework and you got all this stuff to do to fall out of those habits that are really going to help progress you as a player. And so just finding people that can help to fill those gaps for you, that can help to get you to do the things that you need to get done. And that can be study groups, like it goes the same for school kind of thing. So can you have classmates that can help keep you accountable, keep you on top of your schoolwork, that sort of thing. And don't just like rely solely on yourself to kind of keep all of that together, if that makes sense. Being on a team is like the absolute best. It makes it really easy to find friends, because you have 15 other girls that you're spending every day with for at least 4 or 5 hours. So that's also something to keep in mind when you are choosing a school to go to. Obviously, other things are really important, but it is important also to like your teammates or find people that you enjoy being with all the time, because you do spend a lot of hours with them. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And yeah, I would say some of my best memories are like road trips, going onto the bus, traveling to games, team activities that we would do, team bonding stuff, even just like some of our workouts that were more for fun, even getting into the weight room and doing lifts and stuff like that. That's a huge opportunity in post-secondary that is sort of starting to come into this level too, which is just like getting in the like weight room and lifting and all this stuff for injury prevention, which is really great, and that stuff I definitely enjoyed more than anything, hence why I'm now studying physiotherapy. But
So I'm going to sort of brag a little bit about MacKeely as the next 1 or 2 minutes goes along here, but part of what made MacKeely a great person, a great player, outside of the things that she's already talked about today, was her consistency, number one. Her consistency since basically the day that she started playing basketball. Her consistency in her work ethic, as well as consistency in trusting herself, her coaches, her teammates through it. She trusted that throughout her high school journey, which has allowed her to sort of maintain connections. That's why she's in the building right now, and we're super grateful for that. But it's also allowed her to sort of kickstart. You said you met AJ in your first year of basketball. And for those who don't know, our Jewel team will go to Spain. We try to go every 2 years so that everybody gets the opportunity when they come through our program to get to Spain to play games against some of the club teams and sort of semi-pro teams over there. You went as a player, but you also went sort of as a player coach a couple years ago. What was the reason that you joined that trip? So again, consistency throughout her time in our program. As an alumni, she came back, maintained a connection. We were able or she was able to tag along essentially. but for great reasons, potentially great reasons. Why did you come on that trip after you were already done as a player?
Yeah, so that trip was in my final year of university, and I went there in anticipation for, actually it was right before my final year, in anticipation for hopefully playing professionally. So through my connection with AJ, through Eddie's connections, we got to go and I got to work out with a couple pro teams in Spain. There's so many professional leagues, especially for women's sports, overseas and other places, and hopefully it'll start to come this way as well. So I got the opportunity to work out with a couple of different teams while I was there, just kind of get my name out there, start to see which levels would work best for me. And I wasn't sure at the time if I was going that next year or not. I ended up doing more school. I'm in my master's now, and so hopefully by this time next year I'll have signed a pro contract and be heading off somewhere. So it's just that continuation of continuing to dream, keep working hard, have your mind set on some goals, and you'll be able to reach that with those connections. And you never know, like Mike was saying, I met AJ when I was 12 in grade 7, and that connection is now going to help me into my future career. So just something to think about. The world of basketball is small, and so just always, as best you can, keep working hard, keep a positive attitude, and those things will take you far.
Just to close up here again, hopefully there's one or two or three things. There's a bunch of things that you can take home with you, but hopefully one or two at least stood out. I'll say it again. She was consistent throughout her time, trusting the process throughout her time before university. As I got to have that opportunity to coach her in her last year at Guelph, I mean instantly between her and Nat, like those two working together with work ethic and fire and passion, the sky really is the limit, and it's cliche to trust the process, but that's what they did throughout their journeys. And to that point, you never know what opportunities exist. Keep your open mind, be ready to step outside your comfort zone, be ready to take on anything and have fun with it and enjoy it throughout it. At the end of the day, no matter what, you're developing relationships, you're becoming a way better human, and if you continue to enjoy the game, it can take you as far as really you want it to. And again, the best work ethic that I've ever been associated with and seen coming from this person I left here. An excellent role model example. If you have questions, ask her throughout the week, ask all your coaches, as you kind of read in your posters, like these coaches have university, national team, professional experience. Ask your coaches, ask other coaches questions, get a little tidbit here or there about their journeys. It's one of the journeys that she was in your shoes not that long ago, and has done great things both academically and athletically, and we still got more chapters sort of ahead, so we're excited for that. So we are very appreciative and grateful for your time, your wisdom, your knowledge. Everybody, quick round of applause.
Thank you.